let us begin.
Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the pod.
What's up, everybody? This is The Quad with Chris Young. As always, I'm Chris. We got Haley the Bear.
Hello.
Producer Josh.
Derek White Fan Club.
And the other member of the Derek White Fan Club, Ryan from Miami.
You ever had the nervous poops so bad on a day? Today has been that day for me. And I haven't even had my coffee yet.
Wow.
Correct.
That's unlike you.
It's very unlike me. I am literally shaking. Today is going to be either the greatest moment of my professional sports life to date, or it will be the worst.
I think it's going to be great.
And I hate Derek White, for the record. The White Knight, the White, whatever the hell they're going to call him. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, I have so many thoughts. I'm so angry. But also, it's going to be so sweet to drink those Boston tears after they come all the way back, only to lose in Game 7 on their home court. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
By the way, first and foremost, before we dive into what you'll be wearing next time on the pod,
God.
I do want to point out that today is Memorial Day. So I want to just take 1 second to honor and remember those that are no longer with us. Hope everybody has a very safe Memorial Day weekend. But it's also the thing that always got me was you're not supposed to say Happy Memorial Day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, why is that?
So,
Because we're remembering those that have fallen? Is that?
I mean, someone says
happy connotation to
the short version is, can you say Happy Memorial Day? Yes, of course you can. Especially if it comes from a place of grateful joy for the life we live today that was provided by the sacrifices of generations before. But you should always take time to reflect on the men and women who gave all for us. So it's I heard somebody talking about it yesterday. They were just like, full stop, you can't say it. And I was like, well, I don't know if you can't say Happy Memorial Day to someone, but obviously there is a larger meaning behind the day. So, yeah, anybody out there that's lost anyone in the service, whether friend or family, take a second to reflect on them today. All right. Now that we have addressed that,
The roast of Ryan continues?
no. We're gonna ease our way into this one today.
Just make it slow bleed. Just a slow bleed. You know?
The poll. Do we want to address that first?
Oh, yeah.
Let's
so-
just keep roasting Ryan anyway because he has to pull it out.
So we love polls here at the Quad with Chris Young, and it really one of the best things that we do is we allow you to participate by voting in our polls. Really easy to do. You can just log on to our Twitter. It is at the Quad with CY. And so last week the hot take was, what's the worst overplayed song of all time? That 65% Baby Shark. But
Yeah.
So happy.
But Shake It Off by Taylor Swift came in second. So
Oh my
there's a
God.
lot of T Swift haters out there just like you.
Okay, wait.
That song is so
Wait.
annoying.
I don't know if that's hate or just that can also come from a place of people feel like it's overplayed as well, right?
Yeah, you can love a song and
There's-
still think it's too much.
There's plenty of people that have accidentally caught themselves going.
I did for the rest of that day and
Yeah.
probably now today.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to formally officially offer an apology to the entire state of Alabama, who I believe that I did upset with the fact that Sweet Home Alabama is a very overplayed song. So to all of you in Alabama, my sincerest condolences.
I feel like anyone in Alabama would also be annoyed with that or with their own song.
And
I don't know if they'd be annoyed with it.
happy
but
Nick Saban Day.
what?
Every day is Nick Saban Day in Alabama.
Oh God.
Oh dear. No.
Not
Or
the-
as we refer
not
to
the
him.
last 2 years.
Nick Satan.
Yikes.
And now the state of Alabama has turned on me. Go Dogs.
All right. Well, Wow. Do we want to do music first? Or
We
just
chose
make it
violence
fast?
this morning.
Sure.
Yeah, let's just do a quick music segment.
Music.
Just so you know, if there is a national holiday, the charts do not update on Monday, so we won't know about where Looking For You officially is on the chart. But I believe it is top 25 now.
Trending upward.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Although just all the all the stuff that you do behind the scenes that takes a while to come to light. Like I did a whole photo shoot last week that was really cool and just absolutely going to be craziness. But I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Walk in, dressed up, run into someone that I've never met before. They start talking about the fact that they're a songwriter. I get introduced. They get excited, which was very, very cool because they're like, "Hey, I love your music." And proceeds to ask me, "So, like, what are you doing? Are you working on new stuff?" And I'm like, "Well, I got a single out." They're like, "Cool. Is it Famous Friends?" I was like,
Yeah, like,
"That one was." I was like, "You're too behind."
in fairness, they still played it on the radio.
Well,
so.
and he looked at me, and I felt so bad because he immediately goes, "Oh man, I'm
crap."
sorry." And I'm like, "Don't be sorry. You knew one of my songs. Like,
Yeah.
I
It
can't just because I live in everyday moment of where is my song on the chart doesn't mean that everybody's heard it yet."
And also testament that was one of the biggest songs of that year and
Yeah.
still is being played. So
And I'll talk about, I know I've mentioned it before on the podcast, but for those of you that are new to listenership here, when it comes to the chart specifically, and it's not like something that's blown up just via streaming or, maybe like a real big performance, not unlike, but I mean, it doesn't have to be to this level, but Stapleton Timberlake, right?
sure.
It really is like top 15 on the radio chart. A lot of people realize you have a new song out. It's kind of crazy because you think about it in terms of you've lived with it. You've seen the genesis of the song all the way to where it is right now. You go through all of that. You put it out. It starts climbing the charts and somebody's like, "Oh, new song." It's like, well,
Sort of.
sort of.
To you, yes.
But it's also always awesome seeing it climb. So big shout out and a huge thank you. Very, very grateful for everything that song is doing and everything that we've got yet to come with the record. What'd you get into this past week, sir?
I was in Atlantic City and Norfolk, Virginia this last weekend. I leave tonight. We are playing a Walmart corporate thing at 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Oh, I've played this.
So
Is this it's inside?
it's inside. It's 3 songs.
Yep, I've done this event.
I'm actually I'm kind of excited to just do it, but it's a lot of travel to do 3 songs and come home. But
Yes. Yes,
yeah,
it is.
so I'm in and out all week. I leave tonight, there Wednesday, back Portland. I'm just all over the place right now.
Do you like being back on a bus?
I haven't adjusted to the sleep.
That was
yet.
a no. For everyone that is now watching the video of this, that was a even longer hesitation than it seemed between the ask of the question and Josh's beginning of his answer.
I do. I really like all the people that I'm out with. I have not yet adjusted to bus sleep quite yet. So somewhere around 2 p.m. I'm still taking the naps because I haven't quite slept through the night yet.
I can see this with you though, because you also, I believe, on average, get up earlier than everyone else. And I'm saying on average because it depends.
Correct. My home life is like I'm up at 5:30 or 6 in the morning and I go to bed at 10. And now we took the stage at 10 on Saturday. So my rhythm is a little out, and then, it just.
Yeah, I've got a 3-day weekend this weekend. I'm kind of terrified because I've also not been on that schedule at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, 10 p.m., 11 p.m. is going to roll around on one of those, and I'm going to be like, "Whoo, boy, I need."
Well, and I cut out energy drinks last year, so
You're
that's
still on that
so
kick, huh?
yeah, and I'm pretty limited on soda, so my caffeine level has been an all-time low. I've been having to stay up way longer.
It happens.
So we'll get there. It's okay. But I do enjoy it. The rest of it's been really great.
Everything else to go along with it is fine.
Yep.
It's just the sleep.
The one thing that is necessary.
Do you want a sick twist on my travel itinerary coming up this week?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here in Nashville. I fly back to St. Pete tonight. And then on June 1st, for the start of a 4-game series against the Boston Red Sox, I fly to Boston. June 1st is the official start of the NBA Finals.
What could possibly go wrong?
I mean, the
Anyway.
Heat probably won't be in it, so you won't
Anyway,
have to
I'm
worry.
just didn't mean to derail. Just
No,
fate
you're
is funny sometimes.
You're literally walking into this conversation that I've been trying to politely avoid for the beginning of the podcast. I figured we would slow roll into this.
Yeah.
He just wants to rip the Band-Aid off.
No,
right
we're
now.
not. We're not even going to add. What are you listening to this week?
Oh, no.
We're not going to do.
No.
No. We're going to save that for next week. We're going to go
Well,
right.
it's because we don't
into
be all
sports.
Boston themed from you guys. I know exactly what you would do with what you're listening to.
Let's go to sports.
Sports.
Just drop kick Murphys all over again.
Even I did not anticipate the potential epic collapse. Just like opening my phone and having been to the game where they just absolutely demolished the Celtics in Miami, I could not anticipate the juxtaposition 2 weeks can make. Going from cartoons of Jimmy Butler serving up L's
And TD Garden on fire.
to now the Celtics forcing Miami to take the L's, and you taking an L on our bet.
I was so confident. Oh, God. It was Heat in 5. They had a chance Heat in 4. They had a chance Heat in 5. They had a chance Heat in 6. Now they just got to get it done Heat in 7. Do we want to double down?
No.
no,
Double down,
I
Heat in
already
7?
won.
Double down.
I already won.
You already
Good time.
lost.
Yeah, the bet's over. I won the bet. Unless you want to have to wear it to your job.
Game one of flip it.
No.
He has to wear a Heat jersey. Game one of the finals.
Oh, boy.
No. By the way, shout out again to everyone in the Heat organization. This
Thank
is
you for
more
this hat,
about.
by the way. I love this hat.
This is more about Ryan taking his lap around
All right.
the big
So-
L-shaped track.
So that's number one. Also, tonight, refereeing the game, Scott Foster and Tony Brothers, which is just not good.
Time out.
Not good for
Time
Miami
out.
Heat world.
Hold up. Are you still outside?
Are we going to have a special guest appearance on this podcast right now?
Not even just a special guest appearance. I believe something for us. So
Oh. Did I ruin that by talking about referee talk?
No.
I didn't even hear the door open.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, we saw her.
there's someone in the
Show
doorway.
yourself.
Yeah,
I'm
Lingering.
gonna go out there.
yeah. They're just
All right, I like
Hanging
this.
out in
This
the
is-
hallway.
This is what we call live TV.
there.
Mama.
My mom
What is
brought
this?
us breakfast.
Yes. So
Clutch.
What?
Amazing.
Mama B.
Clutch.
We're cooking now with Becky.
So
Chris came over yesterday and made air fryer hot chicken.
I did see that. That looked really good.
So I got it this morning and made y'all cheese biscuits.
Cheese biscuits.
go with the air fryer.
This is the best morning of my life.
Oh,
So this is actually healthy too.
Smell of
Those
Yep.
are not.
They're healthy enough.
They're healthy enough.
They're healthy enough.
They're healthy enough.
You here.
So yeah,
serve
yeah.
yourself.
There's now going to be
All of
food
this, you
sitting here,
grab the
but
biscuit.
yeah, I'm so excited right now. I can't even move.
it smells really good.
Oh, thank you.
If you guys haven't followed her cooking page yet, it is We Are Now Cooking with Becky.
Can you
We are cooking now with Becky.
can you give us a little insight into the ingredients here for these cheese biscuits? How?
oh, for these,
Yes.
It's a family secret.
Oh,
I've had these before. They are
Actually, it's going to be on my
fantastic.
TikTok later today. So
okay. So there you go. Thank you, Mom.
yes, thank you.
I got it.
Wow,
Thank
this
you.
y'all
is.
have to
Thank
share
you.
the knife if you want to cook that up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sorry I was a little late getting here with them.
No.
It's you can be late as you want.
We
to
can
be.
lose Game 7 tonight. I'm fine now.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, you got to try the chicken.
Yeah,
right?
you
Yeah.
gotta have some
Is this
chicken,
the
and
air
it's
fryer
it's
hot
not
chicken?
it's not crazy spicy. It's not crazy.
No,
spicy.
it's just like a hint of spice.
yeah.
All right. Oh,
so
man.
the cool thing about these is
Oh,
Can I get
Shout
y'all
out to
something
just-
drink from the back? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll be back.
shout out to just finding recipes, but this air fryer hot chicken is like 90 calories a chicken tender, which is
Awesome.
insane for a breaded
Oh, that's
tender.
flavorful.
All right,
do this
now while everyone else is eating, because I will, but
Wow, the roasted
Yeah, man.
Ryan included breakfast this morning. This is great.
I didn't want to say anything
I
just in
love
case
this.
she was like, I might be able to make it over there with some breakfast. I'm like, you know what? It's been a while since you've like dropped in on us. That'd be
Man.
cool.
Mama B, you took my morning and made it so much better.
Okay,
Thank you.
I totally need to get y'all like stocked because
We don't have to say name brands. There are things
If they'd
we are
like to
about
sponsor,
to.
they're more than welcome to.
somebody,
Yeah,
I think
we-
that's yours.
I don't.
I don't
You
drink
can't have
alcohol.
those now.
I
We
can take
just
that
had
one.
this conversation actually.
There's sparkling water.
I'll take a sparkling water.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. You can get that. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Honestly, for the listening audience, one of the more satisfying sounds ever. That is.
This is either going to be
Beautiful.
great, like ASMR for people, or simultaneously they're really going to be mad at us because they can't, have what we're eating.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna get out of your way, Chris, but you're gonna have to have Jennifer Vickery Smith on here soon.
Yes.
Just had me on her podcast. I got it from my mama.
Okay.
Did an entire interview, and she has an entire series
Yes.
that's just interviewing
And
moms
her
of
mother's
artists
Smith.
and
She's
stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She's awesome, and she's been
We
doing
will.
interviews for years and years. But
Love you. Thank
love
you.
Y'all
Love
Thank
you,
you so
Mama.
much.
Thank you.
thank you. These are amazing
This is
per
so
usual.
good. Wow.
The cheese biscuits are
All right.
life.
So does that taste like
Hot chicken?
Duncan Robinson missing threes? We're back. We're back. We're back.
I wish America ran on biscuits and not Dunkin'. For the record, a
Well, we're
man
never
that is
getting that
paid
Dunkin' Donuts sponsorship now.
a man that is paid $90 million to shoot a basketball. You have two wide open threes, both with an opportunity to send your team to the NBA Finals, and you choke in both moments.
Man, I don't even think he
Unbelievable.
choked. I don't think he choked because if you watch that first,
For the record,
Wide
he's one of the
open.
only reasons we were in that game towards the end. because
yeah,
he was making threes
you
down
watch that
loop.
first wide open three that he takes, it is
dribbled.
in.
He reset himself.
Yeah, but it's in the basket. Like 9
As
times
was
out
Marcus
of 10.
Smart's three before Derek White came and decided with 0.2 seconds left. Because, of course, they reset the clock to 3 seconds when the foul didn't even occur at the 3-second mark. So they give the Celtics legitimately 0.7 seconds additionally on the clock. And White made that layup
Is
with
that-
0.2 seconds.
Dude, is that literally where you're going to take this? You cannot. The announcers
We're
even
like on Butler.
yeah. So like as he's getting ready to inbound the ball, which first of all you leave him with a timeout, so they can scheme, they can draw up a play, which is a mistake, especially in a tight game where it is win or go home, and not just the hyperbolic win or go home, as in
It's literally win or go back to Boston.
yeah, and not to play. It's go home.
Look,
And look, wait. You're not going to overshadow this with saying they put 0.7 extra seconds on the clock because even the announcers are doing the thing that happens in sports all the time, which is talking about the fact that they're like, oh, there's no way they're going to make this. They've got to make sure nobody gets the tip in off the glass. They've got to make sure they defend the paint. They have a guy standing in the paint when that play begins.
You just have to box out and you win the game.
Jimmy Buckets.
Well, that whole game, the announcers were like, "Who is this Jimmy? He looks intimidated. This doesn't look like him."
He's
He
played like
shouldn't-"
crap ever since he showed he did the timeout gesture to Al Horford. He's played like crap ever since that moment.
Has he played like crap, or did you lose basically your third string point guard, and everything has to be run through him? So he's trying to find open looks
They
because he knows.
prefer to have the offense run through Bam if they're going to do that,
Right.
Because it opens up the floor for a lot more guys. Jimmy Biscuits, by the way, would be better than Biscuits. Stop
it.
For the record.
Stop it.
Look, Game 7. As a Heat fan, Clearly, here's what history stands. No team has ever come back down 3-0 in an NBA playoff history. Ever.
Yet.
Ever.
Yet.
3 teams have come back to force Game 7. All 3 of those teams lost. The Celtics are a huge favorite at home tonight. 7.5, I believe, is the line.
Yeah, it's
Huge
really,
favorite at home tonight. The
really
money
heavy.
line on the Celtics is a huge favorite to win tonight. But everything in my being, everything in my body, cocky Heat fan, I felt it rumbling this morning, right? And that wasn't just the tumble from the nervous poops. I felt it rumbling this morning as I woke up. And I said to myself, you know what? Let's look at the positives here. This is going to be a team led by Jimmy Butler and a 45-point effort tonight in Boston that's going to win the Eastern Conference Finals. Earned, not given. Let's go back to that, the Heatles days. Earned, not given. We are going to earn this Game 7 victory tonight on the heels of that crushing loss and on the back of Jimmy Biscuits. Back to my biscuit.
Thank you for letting me eat so that I can rebuttal.
Oh, yeah. If you notice, I started eating, if you're
Yes,
watching
yes.
this on our
Correct.
YouTube page.
There's a couple things, Ryan. Number one, Jimmy Biscuits, buckets, bottled it up, whatever. Double dribbled on that 3-point shot. He did. He touched the ball with his other hand and then dropped it and then
NBA
picked it up
reviewed it
again.
and said it didn't happen. But
It doesn't. I don't care if they reviewed it and said it was incidental
final
contact.
2-minute report.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of things that are not on that final 2-minute report that are not called. So they should not even been in that game. Number 2, you just gotta box people out. Like this is basketball as it was taught in middle school. Shot goes up, you turn your body, you throw your butt into someone. That's it.
I would rather have seen a foul
Yeah, absolutely.
on the box out.
Yeah.
Make
That's what
them
I
earn
thought
it
they
at the
were going
line. If you're gonna do
make
it,
okay. Get up there with the whole arena watching you, where you know you have to knock both of these down.
yep.
The percentage of him making that shot, first of all, with 3 seconds left, and then the chances of that tip-in happening. By the way, Boston has beat Miami these last 3 games simply with one stat in particular, second chance points. I mean, they have absolutely owned Miami.
They've dominated.
in terms of second chance points on the boards, and that was a microcosm of that with Derek White. Boston finally regained the form that we saw throughout the regular season and then we saw all of last year, which was a team that is suffocating defensively, that can shoot from 3, that has a lot of different options, and that plays team basketball. They swung the basketball around beautifully. It reminded me of that Spurs series in 2013, how well they were playing team basketball.
Would you like to know why they are doing that?
I would love your analysis on
Right
that.
after Game 3, that was the game you went to. Mm-hmm. We can blame Topgolf for this turnaround.
Topgolf?
Topgolf. After Game 3, rather than sitting his team down to watch the film and yell at them, Joe Mazzulla, who I still do not think is a good coach, however, decides via Al Horford's idea to take the entire team to Topgolf to remind them that they actually all like each other and that they all can get along.
Wow.
And they spent 4 or 5 hours hitting balls, having some drinks,
And then they hit a bunch of threes.
hanging out, going, man, I really like my team again. And they have come back and won 3 straight games.
So I have Topgolf to blame for the potential of the Heat doing something no other team in the
We'll
NBA has
see.
ever done.
We will see
By
tonight.
the way, can I say this? Bear, go ahead, because I hate the city of Boston. I hate that Boston's going to potentially do this again.
First of all, I
Whoa,
was.
Can we give Boston their flowers, too? Come on.
They will never let the Yankees ever live it down for what happened in 2004. And if this happens tonight, they're never, ever going to let Miami live it down.
I just want to say I called it. I called the Celtic coming back multiple times, and I think that they're going to win it tonight, especially because they have a home court advantage.
Do you think they win by 7.5? Because
I don't think
you've
they-
actually picked the last 4 games correctly.
Have you really?
Yes, she has. She's
Well,
been on
share
a,
the intel with the rest of the group.
she
What are you
has
doing
been on
here?
a Barkley-esque streak.
You guarantee it.
So, anyways,
Do you think they win by 7.5?
I don't think it's by 7.5, but I do think that they win it.
Well, they technically can't win by 7.5.
Well, yeah, you know, everyone understands what I was asking, Ryan. Do they win by 8 or do they win by less than 8?
I think it's going to be a really close game tonight in Game 7.
But I do, Ryan, do you think if the Heat make it to the playoffs, you end up at a game?
The finals.
But what?
If they make it to the finals, do you end up at a game?
Do you end up at a game?
Oh, I'm definitely going to a game. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Was that a trick question?
Just to watch the Nuggets beat the crap out of them? Or?
Yeah.
I'm thinking Game 3 in Miami is what I'm thinking. Game 3 in the 305.
Oh dear. Yeah, and if Miami does win, the Nuggets are going to destroy them. I would say Nuggets at 5. And to quote Ryan.
Yeah.
Heat and 7, baby. Let's go. I'm still believing it.
Can you keep doing that? Can you go Heat and 4, Heat and 5, Heat and 6? Heat is like, shouldn't you just be like eliminated from doing that anymore?
Well, wait.
Well, they can't win in 8 and they can't win in 6 anymore. So.
Yes. Thank you for that wonderful math. Math gonna math.
You know what I also blame?
Well, hang on. The president of Barstool Sports
Oh, God.
That was the greatest video ever, by the way.
also was in the situation of taking off the jersey, and it's like Celtics in 5. And he's like, crap, Celtics in 6. Just defeated. And then watching the reaction, just the reaction videos from this game.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the wedding one or the whole wedding party?
Yes, I did.
I wanted to see the after. I only saw them celebrating.
Did you see my video of my actual reaction, which was deflating? By the way, you know who I also blame?
Who?
I blame Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter. Because if you saw in Game 4,
Come on.
they're on the court in Miami, smiling, gesturing, are two of the members that were a part of that 04 Yankees team.
Get out of here, Ryan. Get out.
That was the only team in Major League Baseball history to give up a 3-0 series lead. The reverse jinx.
So you need
They should be banned from the arena.
a white jersey in a size medium.
Size medium, or was it 38, 48? 48 for jersey.
Should we get it remade with the number 7 on it?
Ooh, like custom jersey style.
Yeah.
Like Boston in 7. I still have faith. And when we check back next week, when we are here in this very same vicinity, I will be obnoxious Heat fan. And I will be screaming Pitbull at the top of my lungs. The entire podcast.
Meanwhile,
I'm going to bring a straw and some paper and just shoot spitballs at you the whole time.
Culo!
we're gonna have something planned for you next week.
Dale.
They will be either really exciting for you or very depressing.
Dale.
And given the
Yeah.
teams that you like, probably pretty depressing.
By the way, the air fryer chicken, fantastic.
Thank you, buddy.
Fantastic.
What's the seasoning in that thing? A little cayenne? Did I taste some cayenne in there?
I just took a huge bite of a biscuit. I'm so sorry.
Wrong time to ask you a question.
Yeah, but how many times have I given one of you guys crap?
You're like, oh, hey Josh, how you? Ooh.
Well, I can definitely tell you he started with a Greek yogurt base and not
Sure.
an egg wash. So
Guys, it is worth investing in an air fryer if you don't have one.
For so many reasons.
They just make so many things that are
quickly.
actually healthy and tasty. If you want to look up, there's a billion recipes online. This one is really basic. It's just you take your chicken tenders. Didn't even really manipulate
prep
them
or
in
anything,
any
yeah.
sort of way. I mean, like normal prep, like take them out of the package and
I pulled out the tendons.
Threw the whole bag in there.
just throw the entire bag of chicken. No, you basically just take them and for instead of an egg wash, it's the yogurt and a buffalo sauce with your spice blend, which is just a regular, blend of black pepper, brown sugar, cayenne. Like you can change it up to make it whatever you want. I actually used a local brand as well because it had pretty much the same ingredient list when you look down what the ingredients were in it, and it was like a Nashville hot chicken
Amazing.
spice. So I'm like, perfect. I'm not even going to measure these. This is great. Went in and did that, and then for the panko, it's just more of that seasoning with the panko, and you mix it all together.
Yep.
You just have like your wet station, your dry station, and then it's like 400 degrees for 10 minutes.
So easy.
So simple. Yes. Got a piece of toast, put 2 of those on there, a little more buffalo sauce, a couple pickles. Let's go.
It's a winning combination.
Yeah, and now
Extra panko.
and now for the cheese biscuits, you can go look at Mama Becky's page and find
Yeah.
out and
And-
watch on TikTok.
And I think she said she's going to tag to the original creator, who is a guy that I've done several of his recipes at the house, and they always work. Can I also bring this up? What monster, what absolute demon would put bread and butter pickles on hot chicken?
Yuck. I just hate bread and butter
That was the
pickles.
only
pickles
thing.
are-
That was
I'm
the only
horrendous.
thing about the original recipe that popped up that I was like, "Oh hell no!"
I'm so
it's gotta
angry.
be dill. It has to be dill.
Does anyone on here actually like bread and butter pickles?
That's an
No.
extra poll for the week.
Pass.
No.
That is disgusting.
In fact, when taking a bite and it's a bread and butter and not a dill, I get exceptionally angry.
yes.
Oh, got to get out of here. Get out of
Like
here.
my day's ruined.
The worst one for me is not even chicken, and God knows I love chicken. It's a hamburger. If I bite into a hamburger and it has
There's-
bread and butter pickles on it, I'm never coming back to your barbecue or your house anymore. Or if I am, you don't get to cook.
I think I would just leave. If somebody handed me a burger and I took a bite and I had that, I'd be like, I'm out.
Just
We'll see
spit it out and be like,
That's-
this is absurd.
But I
walk
can't
out the
even
door.
make that like a hot take.
Oh,
Because
it's already gone up.
No.
Extra poll. Does anyone
Okay.
actually like bread and butter pickles? Is what was posted. Then I'm
Yeah.
curious to see the response.
People that probably thought it was heat before.
Or 5 or 6.
Going to be 7.
I also want to go back since we're done giving you hell now, Ryan, and I do hope your team wins because
I hope so too. I will be.
I think
I
you're
will
the
be
only
morbidly depressed.
person with a team in it, but I don't see how even whoever comes out of this, the Celtics or Miami, they have a really well rested Nuggets team. And I understand that a lot of people are going to go, oh, well, you can kind of fall out of rhythm by having that much time off.
A lot of people say too much rest is not a good thing.
Now when you're running your team around a big man who needed that rest.
Correct. And also, it's not like they don't practice on these off days.
Yeah.
It's not like they're all just sitting at home like, I wonder who we're going to play next.
They probably did not eat cheese biscuits today.
The Joker.
Jokic might have, but
Maybe.
maybe.
Heat and 7.
All right. So moving on from basketball, what do y'all think about the Stars or the Knights?
Well, that could be another series where a team blows a 3-0 series lead because Vegas had a 3-0 lead.
Yep. And now Dallas won last night.
Oh, they won last night, so we're going to Game 7 now?
Wait.
No, I think tonight
Hold on.
is
No, no.
Game 6 in
Yeah.
Dallas.
Yeah, tonight's Game
tonight's
Yes,
Game
so if
6.
Dallas
Sorry.
wins
I was-
tonight, it goes back to
It would
Vegas
push
for
to Game 7. And that historically has happened.
And that's the thing too is
It's
correct
different
me
in
if I'm
hockey.
wrong on
It's different in hockey.
Correct me if I'm wrong on this. Hockey to me seems to be a little bit more predictable of a sport, maybe.
Well, and it's streaky. So when it's not predictable, it is just like
No,
what is
NBA
going
maybe
on?
more predictable of a sport than hockey would be. Hockey
Yes.
can be very random. You get a hot goalie and boom.
I was trying to make it work.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
peg, round hole.
You get a hot
Sure.
goalie. Look, for example, the Florida Panthers, right? They knock off the best team in regular season history in round 1. They knock off the Maple Leafs, who everyone thought was going to make it. Then they come back and they win. They beat Carolina and sweep them to get to the Stanley Cup Finals, all off the backs of a hot goalie. So that could really change the trajectory of a team. But do I think Dallas can come back? I'm rooting for it. I want chaos. Look, if my team's about to
want
blow a 3-0
chaos.
series lead, I want the same for Vegas.
what does the
Didn't-
goalie's looks have anything to do with it?
Please remind me and tell me if I'm wrong. Didn't the Preds go up 3-0 before they lost to go for the Stanley Cup? I swear we were ahead, but unless that was to get into the Stanley Cup.
No.
That was
No.
the round before.
Yeah, that
round
was
before.
around before. I think the last time that happened, wasn't it the Kings?
Yes. 0-4, I believe.
Yeah.
I think is to come back from down
Yeah.
3-0 is what
Down
you're
3-0.
talking about. Yeah.
All right. And I know we did jump onto that because we were making predictions. Do you have anything to say about that NBA coaching hire?
For the Bucks,
Yeah.
Wait, who did they hire?
they hired an assistant coach from Toronto, right?
Oh, I didn't see it.
Is it Griffin?
I believe so. Hang on. Yes, Anthony Griffin, something like that's coming to mind right now. Adrian Griffin.
Like not any
Not on the radar of anyone.
Shout out to that guy. 'cause
Adrian
obviously-
Griffin. That's who. Adrian Griffin is who was an assistant coach with Toronto.
Interesting. I do not have an opinion because
You didn't know.
I was today years old when I found out. I do think it'll be interesting. It's between Kevin Young and Nick Nurse for the Suns job right now, and that's really interesting.
I think it ends up being Nick Nurse.
Young is an assistant on the Suns and has really good rapport with all the players. So
He's got a great last name.
Nurse? Nick Nurse?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about me.
It's okay.
Hey, by the way, baseball is still alive and kicking.
It is.
1/3 through the season, you still have the best team in baseball in your Tampa Bay Rays. By the way, we're only 1/3 of the way through the season, which is incredibly.
Very long season.
What is their lead right now on the division?
They okay. So I saw this the other day. They're 4.5 games up. But
It's not a lot.
last place, Toronto is 1 game above 500, and they are 10.5 games back of the Rays in the division. If they were in the AL Central, where Minnesota is, Toronto would be leading that division. So that's just again.
Well, we had that whole
Shows you how-
conversation about how good. It's where in years past we've seen, the East and West of the NBA, one be extremely dominant.
Agreed.
That particular division in baseball is obnoxiously good.
And the AL Central is really, really bad with your, I think almost last place Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, they had the flip record of the Rays right
16 and 38.
now. Yeah,
right
it's
now.
pretty bad. Yeah, I think the Rays are 38 and
Who else is in there?
38, 39, and 16. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Which the one that got me the other day on something, the Tigers.
They screwed up a bit.
They have a .49 winning percentage. What the hell? Where'd they come from?
Baseball's weird.
And Cubs are last in our.
And Cubs and Rays start a 3-game series today in Wrigley Field, just for the record. I want to make a little wager on that. We can do that.
Lead, whatever.
Oh, I take it back. The A's are way worse.
Yeah, the A's are really bad.
10 and 45.
Well, look at their run differential. If it's on there,
it's not on
oh,
here.
it is really bad. I think they're like
atrocious.
minus 123 in run differential, which is historically
not good.
putrid. And by the way, did you see their beautiful new ballpark, the renderings for Vegas?
Yes.
And they're going to build it on the site of what would be the Tropicana Hotel.
I think I saw these. They came out this week, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to bring this up in basketball. I'm so sorry. I have a prediction about LeBron James' career.
Oh.
Let's hear it.
Go ahead.
I don't remember where I saw some of these things, but it was all compiled together. 2025, the NBA All-Star Game is in Los Angeles. I feel as though the 2024-25 season will be the LeBron James farewell tour, including an All-Star Game in his hometown where he lives now. Hometown. And 2026 is when the expansion teams, and he really wants to be an owner. And so I think he plays all the way through 25. That'd be the first year for Bronny. He retires and immediately becomes an owner of either the Seattle or the Vegas NBA.
So you think we have 2 more years of Laura?
We have 2 more years of LeBron. Next year will be one final push for a championship. They will go all in on trading D'Lo and Malik Beasley and whatever to get Kyrie Irving or some other third piece for him and AD. They make one final push, and then the year after is his retirement farewell tour, and then he becomes an owner.
Last thing before we get to the movie, big shout out, Joseph Newgarden for winning the Indy 500
that was cool.
from Nashville.
That was cool.
Yep.
Local guy.
Local boy.
That was cool.
My dad made a point to tell me because I was checking on him. He had shoulder surgery, so he's been
He's
can't
like,
pick anything up. So it was the other day at the house, he was like, "Hey, will you take this air compressor downstairs?" I'm like, "Why do you need an air compressor? You can't pick anything up anyway." But he's my dad, so sure, okay.
Yeah, he made it a point. He goes, "You should mention on the podcast tomorrow."
Yeah, he did.
Great.
He was
Nashville
you
boy,
gotta
I like
talk about
that.
it.
I like that.
I thought that was a cool stat too, because I think he's only he hasn't been in that many races. I mean, he's been racing for a while, but yeah. And he also passed the winner of last year's Indy 500 on the final lap. So it was it was a big
cool.
deal. It was a big deal. I just want to give that. I don't know why I'm in that mood today. I'm just trying to so and so deserves attention.
We're giving flowers.
Everyone deserves attention.
We're giving flowers today.
Brought all
Except
the
to me.
flowers. Well, you know what? If your team wins in 7, we'll
give you flowers.
Yeah, we'll give you the shout out.
Not white, but flowers. Not white flowers.
Maybe white flowers.
Maybe they'll match the jersey.
Movie time.
Movies.
Great
Okay.
segue.
Great segue. This will tell you. It's so funny because you type in The Machine and the first thing that comes up is not the movie or the
Albert Pujols?
No, it's
That was his nickname.
just Bert Kreischer. He is so synonymous with that.
He is
bit
the machine.
yeah, he is the machine. Not unexpected. This has actually gone down like 7 percentage points on Rotten Tomatoes since I looked at it 2 days ago. 91% of Google users like this movie, though. And I believe it will end up making money. I don't know what it's made so far, but it didn't have a crazy budget.
You didn't say what Rotten Tomatoes score was.
Yeah, I did.
No, you said it went down a couple percent, but you didn't say what percent it was at.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks. 25% on Rotten Tomatoes. That doesn't surprise me because, again, a lot of this humor is going to be for, I believe, the Rotten Tomatoes scoring crowd.
Right.
Lowbrow humor in their opinion, right? Mm-hmm. The past comes back to haunt Bert Kreischer when a murderous mobster tries to kidnap him to atone for his crimes. With help from his estranged father, Bert must retrace the steps of his younger self as his sociopathic crime family goes to war.
Is that it?
This was the exact opposite. You remember a couple weeks ago when I was talking about Renfield?
Yeah.
And I was like, it just didn't land for me.
Yeah.
This one did.
This one did.
Yes.
Because I did not get a chance to see it.
Ryan, did you see this?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I've seen him live in stand-ups, which is great. But
I think you should go see this if you like his comedy, and here's why. For those of you where this is not your type of movie, I think we've said that before. Some of the things that we review on here are not going to be for everybody.
No, for sure.
Especially his brand of humor can be off-putting to some people if they don't like what he does.
I don't think he wouldn't, in terms of comedians, I don't think he's on the brand of humor that would be offensive. I think more people would look to some others in terms of offensiveness.
Any type of comedy is going to find its detractors.
If it's funny.
That's
If
the
it's funny,
basis
it's
of
gonna be
comedy.
someone
Yeah.
upset.
He seems to be a little bit safer in that regard.
There were people that were
opinion.
very offended by George Carlin. Okay,
True. Or Ron White, which is one of my favorites. But true.
Yeah. And I love them both. And those are two very different
Very
humans.
good. Yes, they are.
This one landed, and I thought for a lot of reasons. I really did like the self-deprecation that he keeps doing his callbacks during the film. I thought it was fun. It was just goofy enough and it violent enough in a couple spots where you're like,
what kind of movie is
What?
this?
But it's also there is a full through plot line that is not super basic. There's a couple different twists. Nothing you're not going to expect, obviously, but it just really well done. And I love that Mark Hamill is his dad. I had to look over at Austin from Leaving Austin, friend of the pod and just a friend, but I had to look over at him in the middle of the movie. I'm like, do you know who that is? And he was like, what? I'm like, Austin, you're 34. Like,
You should know this.
you should know who this is. And he goes, he looks familiar, but I can't place him. And I'm like, it's Luke Skywalker, man.
I know he doesn't look exactly the same as he did in the 80s.
I'm
but
your father.
But
I thought it was great.
I agree with you. It was really good. What I said was that it wasn't trying to shove comedy down your throat. Like, some movies are with comedians, like just trying to be like, this is just going to be purely funny and we're going to shove some of the most dumb jokes down your mouth. But that's not what it was. It literally was like an actual movie. They
told a story.
They told a legit story. And not only that, if you're a fan, they told the story of the famous skit that he talks about. And so it
But
kind of
they tell it in like reverse, like like it's history of him, and so
Yeah.
you're telling it but not telling it.
Yeah, so it kind of goes back, and it goes back and forth between the younger him and the older him, all in a plot to get him to do what they have to do in the movie. But it was those low cut, like his comedy. How would you say how he is in comedy? Those low cut jokes that he was doing.
His one-liners still exist in the film, but that's not the only thing that exists in the film.
Right.
Yeah, and there's
Right.
just and Mark Hamill was awesome as the dad, and everything else about it was great. So I loved the storyline. I got my laughs in where I wanted to get my laughs in, and overall, I thought it was great.
It was what I expected.
Of this 1 hour and 52-minute movie, how many of those minutes was Bert Kreischer shirtless?
A lot of it.
Well, you have to take into account that the younger him was also
It does.
shirtless.
There's
The Florida State version, the frat
Yeah.
boy Florida
yeah.
State version.
It bounces back and forth between.
Did they do a good job casting that?
I thought so.
I thought it was
Yeah,
great.
Jimmy
I thought
Tatro, I think is who it was, played the college age Bert.
hit the spoiler button. 'Cause again, this is not a crazy, movie that everybody is going to go see. And if you haven't already gone and seen it, you'll probably see it at some point if you like Bert Kreischer. And if you don't, you probably won't.
Right.
So, and these are minor spoilers. I don't feel like I'm really giving away anything. I think you can probably figure out where this movie's going. It's not. This is not Murder on the Orient Express, okay?
it's literally called The Machine.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the story.
You know what happens. But they just expand on it in different ways. Two things that I thought were really funny, and this is what I'm talking about when I go into, not just his standard one-liners, or he does a constant callback where he's making fun of himself having gained a lot of weight.
Sure.
From when everyone remembers him younger. And it's done in very much a way of self-deprecation to himself. It's self-deprecating, but it's also not. It's more like everybody is looking at him going, what happened to you? And there's like a redemption arc to him
This is
through
the
the film with his
machine?
dad.
Yeah.
And there's a part with Mark Hamill, and these are the two minor spoilers I'll give. There's a part with Mark Hamill where he realizes that this heirloom that his dad gave him said "don't lose," that he was stressed out over for all these years. He didn't give him the real one. He gave him a copy because he knew he was going to lose it, and he's just been holding it over his head this entire time. And there was another sequence where the music in this is so well done. At one point, there is a cover of something that I would not have expected to be in this film. Sorry, now I'm rambling because I was going to get to the other spoiler, but I think I'll leave the second one because it's a little more of a spoiler than that part. But it's really cool. I thought they just did interesting through lines in the movie.
And reading more about it, I didn't realize that the film's director, Peter Anticio, I think is his name, he was behind the whole Key and Peele sketch series.
Yeah.
So very, very familiar with comedy, and obviously did a nice job of putting this film together.
Yeah.
Do you think other comedians might go down this route? Now,
I
was
don't
this
think
kind of
there's
trailblazing in that
a
way?
story that could be made into a movie like there was.
Yeah.
I think this
For
one
Bert.
this one is so specific to him, much like the Van Wilder story. I just don't see a whole lot of people that would have something that has the breadth to do an entire movie
Yeah.
on.
An
You can
hour
do
and 52 minutes.
You can do an entire movie with a comedian, but not like one stand-up bit that then turns into a motion picture. I don't think. I think this is a very one of one.
And
thing.
very likable comedian in Bert Kreischer. I think helps.
Which, by the way, this is his first major movie, and he's 50.
Yeah, he's a badass.
You have time, people.
He's a badass,
It's-
dude.
It's okay.
Don't let anybody tell you can't do anything.
You can do anything.
And if you want to take your shirt off, regardless of what you think your body looks like, do it.
Bill Withers was 42 when he started singing.
Bill Withers also abruptly retired and made a whole bunch of music that no one ever heard, right?
Yeah.
Like at the end of his career.
Yeah. It's like Prince in that way.
It's pretty wild.
For the record, the early returns on our bread and butter pickles poll, 51 to 48%. I did not know America was so divided on bread and butter pickles.
Well, it's still too early.
That math doesn't math.
8 votes.
35, but in counting.
Yeah, but 51 plus 48.
It's for-
51.4, 48.6. But
Thank you.
51.4% of people said no.
Not being
People do
contrarian.
not like it. But
Okay.
All right, the
we'll
movie.
see. We'll see. We'll
The
see.
movie for next week.
That is a very good question.
any more nostalgia movies? I like our throwback nostalgia films. Did I tell you guys I saw Air, by the way?
Did you like it?
It was fantastic.
See? There
Yeah,
go.
you
It
talked
was
about that last week.
Fantastic.
Okay, let's see here.
I can't do the. I want to just sing the Jeopardy theme song so bad every time that we get to this point.
The Spider-Man one is out,
I mean,
or
that,
the Boogeyman.
Oh, no.
that
you're not
one
making me see
does
it.
look really interesting.
You're not. We're way too. We're not even in spooky season yet. You're about to force me to try to watch, especially if my team loses in Game 7. You now want me to watch a scary movie.
You can watch a nightmare ending for your team and watch a movie that'll give you nightmares. It's perfect.
Boogeyman. This looks so frightening. This
Isn't it
entire
Stephen King?
film. Actually, the Boogeyman from 2005 is the one that I looked up, and that one looks really frightening. That one looks very scary.
Ryan's first time on the internet, everybody. Just
I
give
get
him.
fooled by the internet quite often, actually, which is not good. Is this the Boogeyman? 1 hour and 38 minutes.
Yep. The new one.
Released on June 2nd, so it's coming out on Friday.
I mean, we can. Yeah, that's fine.
Josh is like,
Josh is like,
Literally trying to do anything. Like, no.
Where do we go? Yeah.
Burn Notice? It's a throwback joke for any of the loyal fans there.
Did we already cover The Mother?
no, that just came out not too long ago on Netflix with Jennifer Lopez.
No.
I watched it. I really liked it. So if you want to do that this week, we can.
Kind of action movie, something different.
Sure.
With J-Lo. Yeah, I like that.
All right.
And she does a great job.
Yes.
There you go. And that's on streaming, so everybody should be able to watch
You
that
could
one.
find it on Netflix.
Ooh, the reviews are interesting. We'll tease to that for the next episode of The Quad with Chris Young.
Okay. Let's go to the hot take.
Hot take!
That was a nicely put pregnant pause there.
Yes.
To build the anticipation
Yes. So
of this hot take.
there is a section of the machine, and this is why I did not give away the second spoiler, where they start going into names of TV shows that people have not seen. And so the one that I sent you is not actually the hot take.
Oh.
This is a surprise hot take for you guys.
No, I was just looking,
Oh, no.
just doing research this entire time.
Okay.
No research is needed.
Wow. Fire away.
I want to go down and do one that is the craziest, and I'll give everybody a minute to think. The craziest, well-known TV show that you have not seen.
Oh, great.
Oh, Chris already knows mine.
Everybody's
because
got one.
I've got a good one.
Chris knows
That
mine.
that I have not seen. That everyone else thinks is awesome, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And when I
And
tell
you
them
have
I
not
haven't seen it,
and it's going to make them
What's the hot
absolutely
take on
melt
this?
down.
So how do we phrase this?
So this is just
caliente.
this
take?
one is the
more-
craziest?
Which one is the craziest? Which is the craziest TV show that one of the quad members has not seen?
Craziest TV show.
Would you? I don't even have to think about it. I can say it. Sons of Anarchy.
Oh.
I think I can win this.
That's a big one, though.
I'm pretty sure I win this.
Because the Sons of Anarchy brigade was insane throughout that entire time. And I was like, no, I don't want to watch it. I'm not going to watch it. I've never seen a single episode.
Would you like mine?
yes.
Seinfeld.
You've never watched a single episode.
I have never
Not a
sat
single
and watched.
episode. You're
in
I have never in my life sat down and watched in full an episode of Seinfeld. I've seen clips. I've seen people quote it, but I've never sat down in my life and watched a single episode in full from front to
See, I was going to say Yellowstone, but when I was staying the night at my friend's house, she had it on, so I technically
you've
watched
seen
the
an episode.
But even though I haven't actually watched the series, but I have not watched a single episode.
You don't believe me, Josh, but I'm telling you that I have not.
I just find it hard to believe. Like, I don't like Friends, but I've seen Friends episodes. People don't like Frasier, but they've seen Frasier episodes.
It was always played on the.
It's on.
It was always on like ABC or whatever when we were growing up. So it was on the TV, and it was just we'd just watch it.
Josh, what is yours?
Well, I have a lot, so I'm trying to figure out the spiciest of them all. But I imagine the spiciest would be Breaking Bad, of which I've seen 0 minutes.
Whoa.
Really?
Walter White would be disappointed in you.
I didn't finish the series, but I definitely got through at least half of it.
I've watched none. There was a couple other contenders that would equally disappoint everyone.
That's good. That's a good one. Because that was
was
another,
everywhere.
Yeah.
Walking Dead was also
Yeah.
a contender.
Chris, I feel like you're going to drop a huge hot take.
Lost
bomb on
was
us
my
this
other
morning.
one that I was fighting.
Lost
with.
is
What?
another one.
Lost was my other one.
Oh, see, I never seen Lost, but I don't think that's like a huge one.
I think you're underestimating it because I have never seen an episode of Lost.
You're going with Lost?
Oh, 1,000%.
Did Lost have the same kind of traction like
Yes.
a Yellowstone
Dude, I
did?
don't think
Am
you
I
I do not think you understand. Just because of how poorly a lot of people thought that it ended, it gets downplayed now. At the time, it was Yellowstone level of.
It was appointment television.
Like, oh my God, we have to watch this.
Yep. Oh, I've never seen Game of Thrones either.
Oh, that would have been a good one for me. I haven't done that.
You know what though?
I think that's more people are kind of picky on Game of Thrones.
I have seen episodes of Game of Thrones, but I've actually read all the books, which is way more concerning because those are long.
Well, also, I know they're about to come out with another Snow or something, a spinoff of Game of Thrones. So it's about to pick up pace again.
Everybody just wants George R.R. Martin to come out with another book.
Yeah, to piggyback what Chris said, Lost was appointment viewing to the point of, like, I had friends that wouldn't want to hang out with me because they couldn't miss watching
episode.
Lost that night. I'd be like, oh, can we go hit a bucket of balls or go to whatever? And they're like, nah, man, I got lost tonight. And I'm like, you got lost where?
And they're like,
No, I'm on TV.
Yeah.
I gotta be home and watch this. I was
All right,
like,
so
are you serious right now?
The poll will be which one of these shocks you most. These are TV shows that each of the quad members hasn't seen. Bear is Sons of Anarchy. I'm Seinfeld. Josh, you're Breaking Bad. And see why you are lost.
Make sure to lock in
Wow.
your vote, guys. This is going to be a good one. This is
Wow.
going to be a good one. And we'll save the one that I had up there for next
Wow.
week. Thank you guys, as always, for listening to The Quad with Chris Young. Hope everybody has a safe Memorial Day. And just know we love you.
Here's the chicken.
And we're out.